Raider! Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever! You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Velikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for another what we hope to be fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 139 of Raiders Fan Radio here in Murph's Fan Cave. And what was that? Uh-oh. Mosh, is that you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Mosh doesn't sound too good over there. Let's go over to the western annex of the Murph Fan Cave desk and see what's going on with the one and only Uncle Mosh over there. Uncle Mosh. What's the matter with you? Uncle Mosh, it's like the end of August. We're a quarter mile from the sun here in Tennessee, and you can't be cold.
I'm not cold. Fat people don't get cold.
No, what's the matter with you?
I had to go to the dentist.
You had to go to the dentist?
Uh-huh.
What's the matter? You got a thing with the tooth? You got a guy had to take out one of your teeth?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
I like your silver and black scarf.
Isn't that the best?
That is the best.
So...
You really did go to the dentist today, didn't you?
I really did go to the dentist.
I was going to say, Uncle Sylvester, you sound great over there.
Yeah, like that's the Raiders Fan Radio.
So did you go see Dr. Scrivello?
No, actually. And actually, so this is what happened.
You didn't have a stroke.
10 years ago. I'm not smelling toast.
You don't smell burnt toast? Okay.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, I got a toothache, right? I got this tooth right here, this one right here. And I call up my insurance, and I'm like, what do I got? And they go, go to this Doc in the Box dental clinic.
Yeah.
And I go, but I don't want to go there. I want to go to my guy.
You got a guy.
I got a guy. Everybody got a guy. I got a guy. And they go, you can't go to him. We don't cover him. And I'm like, So I go to the dentist, the Doc in the dentist, right?
Yeah.
The Doc in the Box dentist, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what the name of it was, but I go in there, and I'm like, this tooth right here hurts. Fix it. And they go, well, okay. So they sit me down. They made me fill out like 87 forms, right? I'm filling out all these forms, and I'm like, okay. My regular dentist is this, but my insurance don't cover. And you know how insurance is, man. It's crazy. So I sit in there, and all of a sudden this girl comes in, right?
Yeah.
She's the assistant hygienist, the kid who, was working at Target the day before, whatever, right? She sets this thing down.
Probably real rough to look at usually.
Yeah. And I go, so what is that? Because I don't do the dentist well, right? And I ask questions. I'm the guy that only had a local for his vasectomy, right? And I said, set up mirrors. You're down there. I'm down there. I want to see what's going on, right? So anyway.
Only on this show.
Yeah, and then I went to a hockey game when it was over just so I could say I did it. Anyway, so I go, what is that? And they go, those are frozen metal rods. And I go, what are you going to do with those frozen metal rods? Well, we're going to tap your teeth to find out exactly what your pain threshold is at and which tooth. I said, no, we're not. We're not hitting my teeth with metal rods.
With frozen metal rods.
With frozen metal rods. And they go, well, that's how we can tell exactly which tooth it is and if there's a cavity because you got a filling. And I go, no. So I unclip. And I swing my legs over. And the girl goes, well, you can't leave. And I go, I can leave? I'm paying you. You're not you are not banging on my teeth with metal rods. So here comes a dentist, right? He's about 8'9", right? And he goes, what's the problem in here? And I go, I'm not getting my teeth banged on with metal rods to find out which one hurts.
Yeah.
It's this one. And I'm pulling my face open, right? And I'm showing him, right? And he goes, well, no, that's okay, Mr. Sultan. Have a seat, Uncle Mosh.
You go,
Anyway, and I go, oops.
You're not going to be hard to Google.
Right. So I go, oops. And he goes, we have other ways to do that. And I go, well, what can you do? And he goes, well, we have these. And he pulls up this, like those, those things that you spray, It's a suction. And then the other one that sprays. And I go, what's that? And he goes, well, instead of the metal rod, since you're opposed to that, we can spray on your teeth with these cold jets of air or ice water. And I'm like, you're not spraying ice water on my bad tooth. And he goes, well, what do you mean? And I go, this isn't hard. This is the tooth that hurts. So I left. So I left. 10 years. It's been 10 years since I've been to the dentist.
Oh, this all happened 10 years ago?
This is 10 years ago. So
out of control.
I'm out of control. So I got good insurance finally. I took the dental plan.
Okay.
And I went to a dentist, a local guy, Dr. Lane, former student of mine. His dad, I'm not supposed to say names, am I? Anyway, his dad is my vet. I had him in class and I'm like, if you hurt me, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I know your family. Everybody goes, right? It was the best. I've been twice in the last 10 days, and they're doing all this work on me. Like last Monday, they froze the left side of my face and did the work.
Yeah.
Today, they froze the right side of my face and did the work. And I'm okay. I think they put a little something in the rinse because I'm about half blitzed, and I haven't had anything to drink. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So, welcome to Raiders Fan Radio.
Mojo goes, wait, Uncle Mosh gets his dental work done by a veterinarian? I'm a little confused. Nah, man, the dad does the veterinarian.
Hold on. Let's go back, Uncle Mosh. Part 2. Okay, go ahead.
The dad is my veterinarian.
Every time I flip the camera, you start going. Get it out.
His dad is my vet.
Okay.
And he's my dentist.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris Potts says I should have went to Isaac Yankem.
Oh my God.
No, man, I got a great dentist. I'm happy to be here, and I think they made me about half loopy. I don't care. I hope they're all listening because I gave them all cards.
It's like, when you see those videos of kids in the backs of the cars and they're all looped up on dentist drugs, and there you go. Well, this one chose to do a podcast instead. Oh my gosh, you're the best. Uncle Mosh rules. All right, so let's get into episode number 139 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody joining us in the chat. Running Bear, Chris Potts, Tampa Raider, Depressed Raider Fan, Oakland Raider Trucker, Mojo Raider, Haley Phillips, who's making fun of the Raiders. So, Haley, you can excuse yourself if you have to. Sir Raider, DT the Sun. Who else am I missing there? Todd Clements. What's up, Todd Clements?
Shawshank.
Sestrian Raider, Shawshank in there. Appreciate everybody. What does he say? Why no video on this?
Why no video on this and this? Yo.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. We should be good. Anyway, so appreciate you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. So, despite the dentist stories, we're gonna try. No, you're good, man. You're good. This is
sorry about that.
So no, this is gonna be self-inflicted. I need to shut up tonight because we got to keep this thing brief. Oddly enough, normally we do like 2-hour shows. We're gonna try to keep this thing more condensed. We're gonna try to keep our shows down to more like 90 minutes for a couple reasons. One is that it makes for a better show. 2, our numbers are always better when we have shorter shows.
Sure.
3, the feedback is better. 4, I think we're more concise. And number 5, I got to go pick up my kid from youth group. So we got a hard out here tonight.
Hey, running. Oakland Raider Trucker wants to know, Murph, did you just snort?
Yes, that's what I do. Yes, I've been known to snort and chortle and/or do snortles. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so hit it real quick. So you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio, part of the Murph's Fan Cave Network. You can find this show and all of the other Murph's Fan Cave Network shows, including Mondays with Mikey and Murph, the Fan Club Blitz, and Tales from the Nation with our buddy and our social media director, Swag Jeff. You can find that on this network. Just look for Murph's Fan Cave on any of your favorite podcasting services, and you can always catch us live on the YouTube, like all these fine folks that are in the chat are doing tonight at youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. Yes, I hit that because I
finally got that.
Finally got that. Over Uncle Mosh's right shoulder. Thank you, Mosh.
That's
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Man, I'm on a roll. I've had some
not too
coffee,
much.
man. I'm killing it. All right, so over Uncle Mosh's right shoulder, you see two things. You see a Fred Biletnikoff jersey, and you see the Get Made t-shirt amongst I was doing so good. Amongst a bunch of other swag that Uncle Mosh has accumulated, from barbecue sauce to stickers from the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole and his Calavera that our buddy Trinidad made and drew for him. That's so cool.
There.
But those,
I love it.
so those, that shirt and that jersey represent two things. Number one, the Biletnikoff jersey represents Fred Biletnikoff and the Biletnikoff Foundation. I'm also wearing his jersey tonight, the Mitchell and Ness version of his jersey. And if you want to get a jersey, go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear. I just let it hang in for effect.
I love that.
RaidersFanRadio.com/gear. Click on that link and buy anything you want from NFLShop.com. Anything that you buy doesn't cost you anything extra. We just get a little kickback to our show, and all that money we're going to donate to the Biletnikoff Foundation. Also over Uncle Mosh's right shoulder is the Get Made t-shirt. You can go to RaidersFanRadio.com/t-shirts. No hyphen in there, just t-shirts. And you can buy that shirt, and all of the proceeds, 100%, is going to the Biletnikoff Foundation and help fund the new Tracy's Place of Hope. And we are going to present a check for $2,000 this November to the Biletnikoff Foundation on behalf of you, the Raiders Fan Radio listeners. So please do us a favor and go buy one of those shirts and represent RFR and the RFR community. And when you do that, take a picture of yourself and send them to us. You can see a bunch of those are in our introduction. You see a lot of the folks that have sent us pictures of them in shirts. I've gotten some more this week. Colin sent us a picture from like some ruins in Scotland. Like,
wow.
We get some great pictures. So please send us those pictures, and thank you for supporting us. And
Hey, what am I wearing?
Biletnikoff Foundation. And Uncle Mosh is wearing Big Raider Trucker shirt. That's the what started in Vegas, or what? I messed it up.
You messed it up.
This is what started. No, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. There you go. There you go. And that's from our buddy Emiliano, Big Raider Trucker. He sent me and Mosh those shirts, and they are awesome. And we're going to hear from Big Raider Trucker a little bit later in the show. All right. Every episode number, this one happens to be number 139, we tie back to something significant within the Raider Nation, and we leave that to our buddy Swag Jeff, our social media director, to do that, and he has done a great job with it these past few weeks, and he's got another great one for us tonight. Mosh, you want to tell us what that is, number 139?
I do. I want to tell you that Charles Woodson had 139 career-assisted tackles.
Nice. Good one,
Yeah,
Swaggo.
Swaggo. And then he threw in a double bubble for us.
He's got a bubble. He's got a bonus
He
in
says
there.
Kaufman runs for 139 yards against the Giants in 1998.
Top draft choice and Heisman Trophy winner Charles Woodson and all proud wearers of the silver and black were ready for combat. Loyal Raider fans were on their feet from the very first play as the offense thundered into action.
The handoff to Kaufman up the middle, 25, 30, 35, 40. Midfield, he may go. He's gone. 80 yards. Touchdown on the very first play from scrimmage.
Napoleon Kaufman rushed for 139 yards against the Giants as the offense powered for over 400 yards. Wide receiver Tim Brown started in high gear with 6 catches, 127 yards, and his 65th pro touchdown.
Drops back to pass, 5 steps, and he wings one out left. Tim Brown got it. Touchdown.
Second-year pros Grady Jackson, 90, and Chuck Osborne, 98, were ready, and a hostile front limited New York rushers to 71 yards. James Harris, 93, and Lance Johnstone, 51, recorded sacks, and rookie corner Charles Woodson answered all challenges. Defensive coordinator Willie Shaw's aggressive plan freed safety Eric Turner for another sack. Greg Davis's late field goal earned the winning margin.
The snap is good. The hold is good. Greg Davis has it away, and it is good.
All right, there we go. Got to hear a lot of cool voices in there, and of course, you heard from I don't know who was doing the narration on there. That's the more modern day NFL films,
Right.
That's not Callis or
We need to
John
get
Facenda
Swag
or
on
whatever.
that.
Yeah, figure out who that is doing the announcing. But you heard him announce that Napoleon Kaufman went for 139 yards that day. So,
So I got a question for you.
I have an answer.
Who is, not who is, he's one of our peeps, but how do you say Cestриan?
Sestrian?
Sestrian? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, Sestrian Reader's here.
Well, what's up, Sestrian?
Sestrian. It's 1 a.m. where he's at. He's across the pond. He's off for the rest of the week, and he's joining us. He usually joins us the next day. But he wanted to let us know he's with us tonight. It's 1 a.m. where he's at. And he's off for the rest of the week. I'm betting he's drinking.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you joining us. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We got a bunch in there, Mosh. Jason Maris is in there. Sugar Shane, Oakland Raider Trucker, Josie Harvey, Mojo, of course, Chris Rubio. Did I mention Chris already? Ron is in there. Hey, Ron, appreciate you jumping in. Sorry we started a little early on you there, but Ron is our Mater Raider. He's the man that handles the chat for us, so appreciate everybody joining us in there tonight. All right, so Mosh, I got two sets of respect. We do respect on this show. We don't do shout-outs. We don't do props. Nothing wrong with those things, but we got an Italian heritage, and we do respect,
right? A little respect.
A little bit of respect. In fact, speaking of that Italian heritage, look at it. For those of you who know that we live just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and there's my Italian Nashvilleian cup there.
That's right, and you're drinking a little espresso.
Hey,
you're going to be up all night.
I got an espresso guy. Okay, so we want to give a little respect. We got a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing that we're going to do, but then there is a little bit of a serious nature to it that's going to lead in. Number one, we love our listeners. That's our absolute favorite thing about this show is the community of Raider fans that have grown up around this show and the ones that are active and participating in everything that we do. We appreciate and love each and every one of you. And I'm not just saying that. It's the absolute truth. We get a lot of suggestions. We got 2 calls this week for show ideas. I get a lot of emails, and we get a lot of social media messages of ideas for segments and whatever. All those things are wonderful. Because we're trying to keep this thing tight, we're not going to have time to just get to everything. But I want to give you guys respect for anybody that's ever sent us stuff and anybody that's sent stuff like even this week. We love it. Keep that stuff coming because it's always good to get fresh ideas. But what I'm saying is that we respect you, but don't get your feelings hurt if we don't play it or we don't take up that idea.
Yeah, we've got time constraints.
We've got time. And already every week, I come up with a big giant list of stories, a big giant list of topics. I'm cutting it down as we're building the show format.
We cut down 5 minutes before the show started.
Then you and I start cutting before, and then a lot of times in the middle of the show, we're cutting stuff out. So again, here's what I would say. If you have these ideas for these things, do them. Do them. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to pass anything. You have this wonderful creative idea. Man, podcasting is easy to get into. There's a low barrier to entry there. Invest a little bit of time into it, create some content. And you know what? If you want me to host it, look, we got certain standards to, in terms of content and like in terms of, language and things like that. If it's good audio quality and it's good content, send it to me, man. And we'll host it on the dang network. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to discourage you guys, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mosh. What you got?
Right in line with what you're saying. But Chris Potts adds, please, no Murph math.
No.
Whatever you do, no Murph math.
Look, Chris Potts has a podcast. He does East Coast Nation with our buddy Monster Mash Ken, right? And so they have their podcast. Chuck started a podcast. We hosted on our network.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
There are so many guys and so many gals and just have great ideas. Look, don't stifle yourselves. Don't stifle yourselves. Put those ideas to work. But we just may not have the opportunity to necessarily do it here.
The only one that gets a stifle is you.
Will you stifle yourself?
Okay, thank you. See, I need to get moving.
So a Sestrarian is someone born inside the city walls of Chester.
Well, wow, that's cool.
That would be a really cool thing. That would be a really cool thing in the chat. Like, we got so many amazing names.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys. Like, how did you come up with your name?
Yeah.
Like Ron. No, but I mean, obviously Full Metal Mexican, my all-time favorite.
Favorite. Yeah.
But there might be some that are fun.
Absolutely.
We might need to find out some origins of names. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So on a little bit more of a serious tip, and I'm leading in with him because he would have loved the joke. My Uncle Bruz, Sonny's dad, your oldest brother. This is the anniversary of him passing away this week.
Yeah.
And he is to me, definitely, and certainly to you, one of the biggest Raider influences in our lives, in my life. I'll just speak directly. In my life, I got a picture of him and in fact, I'm going to take this off the wall. This is a picture of that's Uncle Bruz, and that's my dad. All right. And this is at a Raider game in 2011. And Uncle Bruz is the one there with the Raiders Godfather shirt on. And so Uncle Bruz was one of those guys that he
was bigger than life, man.
Bigger than life. He's one of the funniest guys in the world. And I'm going to let you talk about him and talk about, he was, like Sonny said, when he passed and Sonny was going through his dad's things, Uncle Bruz had like clippings of like Stabler box scores in his briefcase. Yeah, talk a little bit about Uncle Bruz.
He did. He had a briefcase, and he kept all of his important papers, And I went out and spent some time when we went fishing and stuff before he passed, and he had his briefcase, and in the briefcase there was two little pictures of Sonny and his sister, and then there was sports clippings. That he'd circled Stabler's highlights, right? Going back years and years and years. This is a guy. Okay, so I moved in with him when I was 16, right?
Yeah.
I moved out in the 10th grade. I moved in with my older brother, recently divorced, Bruz, so he's my guardian, right? He's 7 years older than I am. So I'm 16, and I'm living with this 23-year-old, recently divorced guy in California in the 70s, and he'd wake me up in the morning and he'd go, "Hey," and I go, "What?" And he goes, "There's a double header uptown a little bit. You want to go?" And I go, "I got school. I got a test." He goes, "I'll call in for you." And I go, "Okay." And then he'd call in my school and he'd go, "Yeah, Mark's not feeling. Uncle Mosh is not feeling well this morning." I'm messing everything up, but anyway. And I'd go, "Okay, well, don't you have to work?" And he goes, "No, you got to call my work." He goes, "I'll never believe I got to stay home with a drunk brother. Tell him you're in jail."
It
was so much fun.
Awesome. Uncle Bruz was awesome, man. And again, he was one of the funniest guys ever. You're the funniest guy I've ever known, and Uncle Bruz was 1A.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
easily.
Like, he was so dang funny. So that being said, he would appreciate this joke. All right, so obviously in memoriam, Uncle Bruz, and also in memoriam, Mosh, we're gonna do a little tribute. Let me get this.
This is our tribute to SI, Madden, and RFR.
Yeah, let's set the mood here. Okay, so this is hold on. So this is a little in memoriam music because, Mosh, we've had, thankfully, a lot of Raiders that have been on this show.
Correct.
We're thankful for the Raiders that have joined us live on Raiders Fan Radio. Unfortunately for them, their careers usually end not long after they've been guests here on the show. So most recently, Andrew DiPaolo had been hurt, and it now has led to his release. So we want to say, in memory of Andrew DiPaolo, RFRIP, brother. Wherever you end up. But, I feel like we just talked to you yesterday. I feel like you were just here on Raiders Fan Radio. But, Mosh, he's not the only one. We've had other Raiders that have been guests on the show that are no longer Raiders. Rashard Davis, man, we barely knew you. Raider from 2019 to 2019. Good luck to you, man. You're now a Chief, so I don't know, once a Raider, always a Raider? And last up here on our In Memoriam segment, that's Rashard Davis again. Get the next one. There he goes. Obi Melifonwu. We appreciate you joining us here on the show. He's now a Patriot. 2017 to 2018. Pick of the Raiders. Fastest guy in the world. Wasn't a very good safety.
Oh, Mosh! You're dead to me, folks. Moving right along.
All right, next segment.
What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider from On Air Nation, and I wanted to let you know that you need to become a made man. That's right, with Raiders Fan Radio, Murph's Fan Cave, get made like I did. Check out, buy these t-shirts to support, get it done, get made, and become a made man. It's Mikey Raider, love you all, peace.
Okay, so this is awesome.
Yeah, there's a reason we're playing that.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Woo, hey. We'll see if Monday Mikey Murph happens again. I'm willing to do it. I'll just say that. As long as someone's willing to have me, I'm willing to do this show.
There you go.
So in the chat, Mojo goes, I'm worried for Keith Smith. Us too, because Keith Smith is the last guy that's been on Raiders Fan Radio. Somebody get eyes on him now. Look, and look. Tell him to turn his phone off. Do not accept any calls from Mike Mayock. Like, guard the door of his dorm room. Like, Keith Smith is Hey, how good was it? He caught a touchdown pass in the last
and we love him.
We love Keith Smith.
We loved all those other guys at one time, but we love Keith Smith now.
Smith. Somebody protect him like he's a gosh dang national treasure, Raider Nation. Okay, so Mosh, the big story that has dominated the offseason, unfortunately, has been Antonio Brown and the helmet gate. Although I would like to say that it's Hard Knocks, I went all Peter Brady there. Hard Knocks dominated the landscape. Unfortunately, the stupid helmet story that, right, speaking of the potential fallout that happened, the helmet gate that was not to be, that a lot of us thought all along that, look, this is not a big deal. This is getting completely blown out of proportion, and that there are other things afoot. There are other things going on that that are creating this story. And so sure enough, this thing is finally over. And let's go ahead and hit one of the direct sources that we can trust, because he's directly affiliated with the story himself. And let's hear from a guy that really, frankly, I don't care for. So this will give you an idea of how willing I am to share truth with you guys. When I went to the Senior Bowl this year, there were only two people that prime timed me. I won't mention one of them because he is a member of the Raiders indirectly,
sure,
and the part of the media team. But the only guy other than that prime timed me at the event was Drew Rosenhaus. He was an absolute jackass to me, but here he is on Antonio Brown.
It was reported today, and accurately, I might add, that the grievance did not go our way. The league and the union will prevail. Antonio will not be permitted to wear the helmet that he's worn the last 9 years, which is called the Shut Air Advantage. And we're going to move on. That door is closed. On the bright side, as a result of all of the publicity that has accrued from our efforts to get him to wear that helmet, he has multiple offers on the table right now from various helmet companies to custom make a helmet for him and to pay him quite a bit of money. So we have found, without getting into specifics, we have found some very suitable alternatives. So Antonio will be wearing an approved helmet. He won't miss any time, and he'll be getting paid a lot of money to do so. So it's sort of a happy ending, even though he won't be able to wear the old helmet anymore. Oh, yeah. Really a guy that's got a great spirit about him, loves people, loves kids, and I think he's in a very good place right now. I think he's totally focused on being ready for the Raiders opener against the Denver Broncos. I think the helmet, the foot, all of that is behind him now, and I think he's entirely focused on football and ready to have another prototype Antonio Brown season, and he's going to flourish with John Gruden and Derek Carr and have a great year. So I'm very excited for him moving forward.
All right, there you go, Mosh. So, I don't really care for Drew Rosenhaus. I didn't care for him before I met him, and I'd care for him less after meeting him. But I don't have any reason to not believe him. And this was kind of one of the points, and I want to hear from you, Mosh. Look, if you apply logic and reason to the entirety of this situation, no one is giving up a Hall of Fame career and $30 million in guaranteed money because they don't care for their brand of helmet. That is a completely illogical thing to think of. And until it has a negative impact on the team, it's really not a big deal. And Mosh, it hasn't had any impact other than a positive one, because all this guy is doing is firing up his teammates and participating in everything, including the fans. So there's nothing here.
He didn't have to go to Canada.
No, absolutely not.
He didn't have to go to Canada. He didn't have to go to that high school in Oakland.
De La Salle, how cool is that?
De La Salle, and sign people's shoes.
So
I
good.
mean, come on. This guy's, I heard somebody say at school where I teach, somebody say, well, he's the Marshawn bringing positive stuff to the community. He's the Marshawn of the 2019,
Nice.
2020
That's a great way to put it.
I like that.
I like that,
I like
too.
that a
Yeah.
lot, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
I heard this week, too, I heard another one is that if he were to say, shut it down, like completely just walked away from football because he couldn't wear his dang helmet.
like a Colts quarterback?
Oh, Mosh. No, that's a little
Sorry.
different. That was a little different. But what I would say, that would that would definitely define his legacy. This is a guy that is hyper aware of himself, his brand, the way he's portrayed. He's all about AB, and there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that because that's
no.
what diva wide receivers do.
Yeah,
That's what Terrell Owens. They're all
absolutely.
about themselves. Even a guy like Steve Smith, as cool as he is and all that, they're all about self. You think that the guy that is all about self is going to completely crap his career to walk away from the game and let that be his now story for the rest of his life? Come on.
Yeah,
Come on. All right, so you mentioned that we went to Canada, and this is a shift. This is a segue. Hit the brakes. Next segment. We did play the Green Bay Packers in Canada on an 80-yard.
I prefer when they give us an 80-yard field to call it Canada.
Canada, because the exchange rate is different there.
It's different. It's Canadian.
So you go up to play 100 and you only get 80, right? That's how it works.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, we played this game on this 80-yard field. Mosh, I live in the truth around here. Sometimes it's not. Look, anybody that's ever said you're an apologist, well, you're right, because I love this football team. Look around. I do love this football team, but I don't always love everything about football. I don't always love everything about the Raiders. And so at the risk of kind of griping a little bit, this was a tough watch. I mean, and here's why. Watching this game, there were no starters, obviously.
Right.
And these games nowadays, the way that everything is gone now in the preseason, the way everything is structured, aside from the field conditions, none of that to account for. Just the way that NFL teams are structuring their preseason games, they are absolutely 100% driven towards player evaluation, and they're evaluating the bottom ends of the roster, okay? Now, the coaches are all evaluating very specific things about players. Well, we as the fan watching this on TV have no idea. I don't know what specifically they're looking for in Peterman in terms of footwork or mechanics or whatever. We don't know what specifically they're looking for in offensive line we know enough about football to understand certain mechanics that are universal, but these guys are looking for things that are specific about specific players, and we don't know what those are. So when you're watching it as a fan, you're just kind of seeing this clump of plays, and it's just not that compelling to me. I mean, it is because it's the Raiders, and I'm going to watch it no matter what. But normally, I don't play around on my phone. I don't text. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not doing other things. I was folding laundry. I was goofing on my phone. I'm like, this is just not a great watch. So,
but I'll tell you what made it a great watch.
Okay.
Hard Knocks.
Yes.
Hard Knocks brought it all together.
Because that's where they flesh it out and say, this is what they're looking for. You saw Gruden's demeanor going in.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It takes on a whole nother. It's depth, right? You get the backstory to go along with it, what you're seeing, right? Great call.
Yeah, and it absolutely helped because there was folks that we joke about it and we go, oh yeah, this is the third preseason game is the one. It could be called the Lowe's Home Depot Bowl, because these are where the guys are going to be at. In another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because out of that, one of Gruden's comments was, you might see us sign 5 undrafted players.
Yeah.
When he goes up to Doss and personally shakes his hand, when he hugs Peterman, there was stuff that we got to see that made that game all the better.
Absolutely. And great point out there, too, on Keelan Doss. I don't know anybody that's not rooting for that guy. I think we are all absolutely rooting for him. So couple couple highlights there from the game if you didn't get a chance to see it. Peterman throws 2 touchdowns and finished with a 95 passer rating on the game. The Raiders, we got 3 sacks in the game coming from Nicholas Morrow at linebacker, James Kauser, who we all like because he speaks Chinese, and PJ Hall, which I know a lot of people are fans of PJ Hall, really recently 2nd-round pick, and good to see him getting some work. Daniel Carlson finished with 3 field goals and an extra point, accounting for 10 of the Raiders' 22 points, including the game winner there. I mean, that was awesome. And the offense finished with a 67% red zone efficiency and 100% conversion rate on 4th down by getting a couple of them. So that was really cool. So let's listen to Coach Gruden in the locker room post game.
Never forget this, man. It's a 60-minute game, and we got one hell of a field goal kicker, man. Yeah. Hey, I'm really proud of you. A lot of veterans made the trip. A lot of guys didn't. But I'm really proud of the guys that played, the guys that were here supporting these guys tonight. I appreciate it. We got a long flight home. We got one more game to play. We got some tough decisions to make, and it's going to be really tough. I promise you that. But all we can do is finish. Say it with me, man. Finish. We're going to do what?
Finish.
We're going to do what next week?
Finish.
Uncle Mosh, you're the smartest man alive.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Swag. You know why Swag would say that to me?
Why would Swag say that to you, Uncle Mosh?
Because Swag knows that when I'm not prepping for my Wednesday night show with you, I like to engage in a little stuff. I like to engage in casino sports.
You love that kind of stuff.
Now, I'm a hunter and a fisherman when it's in season, and but I love a little casino sports.
Yeah, you do.
Guess what? I don't have to make the drive anymore.
What?
That's right. Because there's something new out there that I can do from home. It's called MyBookie.
Awesome.
And MyBookie is a site that you can go on and you can make bets.
Okay.
You can bet on football games.
Sweet.
And now I'm not about to endorse something that I don't do, right?
Right.
Neither are you.
No.
And we don't give away just, free endorsements, willy-nilly. So MyBookie is something that you and I are doing, and we're having a blast with it, okay? Getting fired up for the season.
Yes.
I would only recommend it, a service to our listeners if it's been good to us, okay? So I'm fired up about it. MyBookie it's the right way to play. You bet, you win, they pay. MyBookie has stuff like live in-game betting for every NFL game. They've got the most rewarding player perks in the business. You can bet fantasy guys. You can bet fantasy football players out there. You guys can have a ball doing this stuff. Like if you've got this great fantasy, they got all these prop bets. I mean, there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they even got, I think some of you guys know that like me, go to casino sports. You get like free slot play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hey, you got $500 on this casino. You can play it in the machines. But if you deposit $1,000 in this, you're
up to
$1,000. You don't have to go with $1,000.
Right.
But if they'll match it in free play.
Sweet.
So they'll double your first deposit. And all you got to do is go to MyBookie, visit MyBookie online. Okay. It's MyBookie and use the promo code, enter promo code.
No, it's CAVE, CAVE.
No, sir.
Yeah, our promo code is CAVE.
Oh, yeah. Yes, our
That's
promo
like
code.
saying, hey, Amash, what's your name? And you say your name. You say, promo code CAVE, CAVE.
CAVE. And, it's crazy. It's so cool. So I'm hoping that everybody goes and they buy in, they do this, and we see people on here going, hey, I won $500. Here's,
Sweet, yeah.
here's a donut gift certificate for you, Mosh.
Right.
Here's a little tip for next week, maybe.
Hey, there you go, yeah.
But it's crazy. So MyBookie.com.
Enter promo code CAVE, CAVE.
Enter promo code CAVE, CAVE. It's crazy. It's crazy cool. I can't wait to see how everybody does on this.
Awesome.
I'm fired up about it.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Imagine
good.
all the gas money I can save.
Or spend.
Yeah, right? What am I doing?
Hit a button.
Oh, hit a button.
Good job, Mosh.
We're running out of time. My life is running out of lifespan.
All right. So next up here on Raiders Fan Radio, we're going to talk a little bit about the Hard Knocks episode, the last episode, which is number 4 that came out, episode number 4 in the 5-episode season. Appreciate everybody that's joining us here in the chat. We want to hear about you and your thoughts on what am I talking about? On Hard Knocks. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Todd Clements, Full Metal Mexican Mojo, Coach Davis, Sestrian Raider, which he said is just a few hours from, what am I trying to say? Where's Paul from? Shropshire.
Oh, Shropshire, Mississippi.
Yeah, Shropshire. Only a few hours from there, so that's pretty cool. So, all right, so we want to hear your thoughts about Hard Knocks. There's a journalist out there that said it was the worst episode ever, or it was boring.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
come on, man.
Come on.
Give it up with this stuff. No, it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. We are going to feature some audio from it. In fact, I'll tell you what, I got some stuff that Caliendo did to talk about his experience was. Let's do this. Normally we start off with Gruden at the top. Well, let's hear from Caliendo. This kind of references back to episode 3 a little bit, since this is the Hard Knocks portion, we'll figure it in there. And we're big Rich Eisen fans, as you guys know. Let's hear what Caliendo had to say about the experience of going up in front of the team before the last episode number 3.
It was a delight to see Frank Caliendo kick off Hard Knocks last night. We figured let's get him on the phone right now. How are you doing, Frank?
I'll tell you what, man. Going Gruden on you right away.
By the way, came right out of the chute. So how did that all come about? Did Gruden call you? Did somebody call you on behalf? What happened?
It started out with somebody from the Raiders. You guys know Jeff Leonardo?
Sure.
He's Gruden's right-hand guy.
Sure.
Good friends. They have to think about Ninja Turtle names to figure out which one it is. Go through it. Not Michelangelo. It's Jeff Leonardo.
Right.
So he texted me at probably 2 in the afternoon, and the meeting is going to be at 8:30.
What?
And he kind of told me, he said, hey, maybe they'll have you come down at some point. He kind of warned me before, but didn't want to tell me. Now, remember, or maybe you don't. I think I talked to you about this before when I was in. I talked to the Raiders last year when they were in town in Phoenix.
Okay.
And so I'd done it before, and this time it was very different. First of all, the energy, crazy different. That was mid-season. They'd lost a bunch of games. And it was, I could just feel, the energy was really low. Derek Carr, after I talked to them last year, was like, hey, man, thanks for coming in. That really picked me up, and I think it got our guys going a bunch. So this year, when I went in, I wasn't ready for that energy. I wasn't ready for the feeling. Also, I thought it was going to be like last year when I walked in. They opened up the door and I was on the stage. I had never seen the room that I was walking into. I was talking to Deuce the whole time before that, Gruden's son, who looks like basically Ram Man from He-Man. For the Marvel people, he looked like the Juggernaut. I just wanted to run through a wall and attack Deadpool. So I'm waiting. I'm just messing around there. I'm not even thinking that the cameras are on me the whole time, and I thought maybe some of that would be on there, but it ended up not being. So Leonardo opens up the door. I go into the room. I've got to walk through the whole team. I didn't know that. I was ready to just start talking as soon as I walked in the room, and then I see that everybody's there, and I'm like, I'm not in Kansas anymore, man.
So hold on a second. Frank Caliendo here on the Rich Eisen Show. So did Gruden know you were coming out? Did he know?
Yes. John's the one who wanted me to. He had Jeff. Gruden's busy with some other stuff right now.
Yes, right.
And AB and the Scooby-Doo gang, they're all trying to find a helmet.
Good stuff there from Caliendo on the Rich Eisen Show, man. That was good, man. That was probably the highlight for me so far, or at least one of them. It's on the short list for best moments yet. And so it's cool to hear from him there. A little bit of a recap of what happened on the last episode. All right, so staying on the Rich Eisen theme here for a half a second. Rich, he had a really nice set of comments for Darren Waller and the way that
he did.
And the way that that Waller has been portrayed, and he was a heavy part of this last one as well. And he's one of those guys that, you know, we've been rooting for a long time. At first, we just thought he was great because he's Fats Waller's, is it grandson or great-grandson? I can't remember.
Great-grandson.
Great-grandson. And so we thought, well, that was a cool connection. And then the guy's 6'6". He runs like an absolute, beast. And he's just fast and he's strong and he's got great hands. And we're just like, wow, where'd this guy come from? And you do a little digging into his backstory, and he's got a pretty challenging past. And, and it was on full display on Hard Knocks, and that's what Rich is getting ready to talk about. But, we here at Raiders Fan Radio, we love a redemption story.
Absolutely.
We're all about that stuff, and there was a video of Nick Saban circling around this week. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Where he is going on about, how quick we are as a society, especially online, to where when guys make mistakes or girls, whatever, when people make mistakes, how quick we are to be like, well, what are we going to do to punish them? What are we going to kick them out of school? And we're going to do this, we got to do that. And Nick was basically like saying, well, where else do you want them to be? Do you want them on the street or you want them here with us?
My old principal used to say, everybody's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be somewhere.
Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it, Mosh. And so, what is there a video?
You were blinking a little bit, but I think
we're back now. Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So, it's a great sentiment. And again, we're all about a redemption story, and we believe everybody's, is entitled to forgiveness and we want to be forgiven one day ourselves. Right. And so, anyway, so the Raiders have done this with Darren Waller. They have helped him reclaim his career and fight back from substance abuse. And so, anyways, Rich did a great job, better than I ever will, on kind of talking about what Hard Knocks has done.
They showed him going to a 12-step meeting.
Right?
And he's like, nah. He goes, I try to get to one every time, and it's like. That was amazing. They didn't,
That takes a lot of plug your ears to earmuffs. That takes a lot of balls to do that, man. To be like, to show that. You're so vulnerable and you're so, you know what I mean? To share that with the world and
that was awesome.
Probably inspire somebody for their own recovery.
Sure.
Like, good for you, Darren Waller. You're the man. Anyways, let's listen to Rich.
We're trying to make it in the NFL. There's nothing better than learning about players who are trying to make it in the NFL and who are going through a comeback and find out what the comeback is and overcoming adversity, their own, in this case, adversity that Waller, a tight end, as Liev Schreiber described in the voiceover copy last night, 6 tight ends trying to get 4 spots. There's a game of musical chairs where 2 guys aren't going to make it. And Waller is in his second go-around at the NFL with the Raiders here now after having problems with the Ravens. I don't want to say it. I will let Waller describe it. There's no justice other than just hearing it from his mouth.
I was in Baltimore. I was just like a vegetable. I was like getting high literally every day. Whatever I get my hands on, it was like opiates first, like oxy pills, stuff like that, Xanax, cocaine. Not caring about anything, like any kind of consequences or anything like that.
Let's go, Waller. You all right? Get up.
I didn't really know if I really, wanted to be there. I was just like super burnt out, and I was like, am I going to stick with it or am I going to just, fold up?
Bark it off, man.
And so I was just like plotting to sabotage myself, my way out of the league. So it was just like, so I didn't look like a quitter. It was just like, the league put me out of my misery and I'll just go on about my business kind of thing.
You could pick my jaw up from the floor when I heard that. And again, the NFL films, folks, using footage that they had from when they were in Ravens camp with John Harbaugh, and you're seeing Waller basically, he was high on the field. He basically said this is what he was doing. He was getting high to try and get through what he knew was going to be the tough journey to make the NFL and creating his own excuses with an addiction because he wanted it to be on the NFL, not him. It's the reason why he didn't make the NFL. And
I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. Mosh, it's a great story. Appreciate Rich taking time to highlight it. It goes on from there. You can find it online. It's, that's stuff, man. That's the human side of football. that's again, it's all about the redemption and seeing a guy fight back, not only fight for a roster spot, but fight back for his life, man. Like, it's cool stuff.
I liked him because he's well spoken. You know, he's just not a rambling idiot that, you know, tried to put the blame on somebody else. You know, he wasn't saying, I had it started with a knee injury and I was hurt.
Oh, right.
You know, he owns it, man.
Yeah.
He owns it, and he was a man about it. And somebody said, well, maybe Vegas isn't going to be the best spot for him, but I guarantee you he'll be still doing meetings in Vegas.
Dude, and there's opiates in every freaking place. You know what I mean? Like, drugs and substances are not hard to acquire in our country.
No, there's not. Like, we live in the buckle of the Bible Belt, and there's a liquor store right next to every church.
Absolutely.
It's available.
Absolutely. So we're rooting for Darren Waller, of course, on and off the field, man. He's a stud, man. So, in fact, I don't really rep a lot of young players stuff like jerseys and stuff. That's one I would wear in a second. Like, I would absolutely rep Darren Waller. All right, next up, one of our absolute favorites of the offseason, a guy that I'm gonna drop a little bit of name here. When I went to the Senior Bowl, I got a chance to meet Coach Brenson Buckner. It was when he first, obviously started with the team and started coaching the D-line, and he was way cool, way engaging, a lot of fun. And so it's been an absolute joy to see him this year on the show, because he's one of aside from Gruden, he might be our favorite.
He cracks me
just
up.
Fun. And so this week, I loved it. They let off the show with him.
Right.
They didn't lead off with Olsen or Mick Mayock or nothing. They let off with Coach Brenson Buckner, and he's still, even though he's being kind of funny, he's driving a message home to these guys.
Big time.
And it's freaking awesome.
Hey man, I'm trying to help some of y'all. Some of y'all feel like I'm wasting my time, or we're wasting our time. I respect you more if you just say, Coach, I can't play for you, I can't do what you, I can go down, we can get you out. But you just going out here, just going through the motions, it ain't gonna be, we got standards. Either you're gonna meet those requirements or you won't be here. Some of y'all, this might be your last time putting a uniform on the next 2 games. If you could have played for another team would have already signed you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you were sitting at the crib, if you were just sitting around and you wasn't nowhere, it's a reason. And now if you keep on putting that reason on film, then they're gonna say, well, all right, there go the second time he couldn't keep a job. Then all you're doing is stacking the blocks against you. Look in the mirror. Don't go tell, Coach Butler, he just hate me. I don't hate nobody here. I love everybody. But I dislike some of y'all football with a passion. Some of y'all football sucks. And you ain't man enough to know it sucks because you're trying to be hard. Well, I know he ain't talking to me. I'll do this. No, you won't. You won't do nothing but take what I'm telling you and either get you a job or won't get a job. By the time we kick off in Winnipeg on Thursday, you better make up in your mind that I'm trying to get a job for the Raiders. Let me go out there and show them I can play the way they want to play. The storm coming. I hope you built the ship. The storm coming.
The
autumn wind is
I love it, man.
Some of y'all football sucks.
That's the best, man. He's so good. Mojo in there said he's talking to Eddie Vanderdoes. I think so too, Mojo. I don't think Eddie Vanderdoes makes this football team. And it's funny that, and I think we've been talking about it a little bit in the chat tonight too, there are some tough decisions to make. We got depth at tight end. We got depth at DT. We got depth at safety. We got depth really a lot. I mean, offensive line is struggling a little bit in terms of depth-wise, but we had depth at running back, enough to where we could let Doug Martin go. Like, there's a lot of depth on this football team. There's going to be a lot of guys that get cut from this team that end up on somebody else's football team. Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
And like Gruden was telling some of the guys, we're getting calls about you guys. He told that to Dawson and Renfro, right? We're getting calls about you guys. And Marcel Aitman, probably out because we got depth at wide receiver.
Right.
We're looking at AB, Tyrell Williams by far, number 1 and 2. So then your third spot there, you got Renfro, now Keelan Doss, and J.J. Nelson. Okay. There's 5 guys right there. I hadn't even gotten to Ryan Grant. We hadn't gotten to Marcel Aitman. We hadn't got, someone's going to get cut from this team and going to end up on someone else's team. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So Gruden and Carr were talking about it a little bit. It's like, golly, man, there's some tough choices
tough,
to make, man.
It's going to be real tough. So, Mosh, what are your overall thoughts on the episode? I thought, it was definitely entertaining. They all have been. This was no different. The humor was still there. I loved seeing Gruden not necessarily challenge the officials, but really drive clarity. And by him doing that, you could tell he wasn't happy with the field, but he was like, what else are we going to do? We're going to quit. We're going to not play. He's like, forget it. We're going to go ahead and get play. So I thought there was a lot of clarity to that. And I really liked what you already alluded to, that this fleshed out the backstory of the preseason game. And after watching this, I wish I would have saw this first before I watched the preseason game, because I would have had a completely different context in watching the game. What do you think? Your overall?
Well, so overall, my biggest take on it was Coach saying, we got to get it right. He said early on, he said that, get it right. We got to get it right. And then I really liked that side of Carr. When Carr was talking and he's saying, hey, were you perfect? You got to be perfect. Was that perfect?
Oh, that was good.
Are you only going to do it in the game, or are you going to try to be perfect out here?
And they was talking to freaking Marcel Aitman.
To Marcel Aitman, yeah. And he's like, when are you going to do that? So it was perfect? Okay, so is it going to be perfect again? Are you going to continue to be perfect? And then he's telling him, and what I liked about it is he was kind of in it. He was in his stuff, and he's trying to motivate him, and then he told him why he was trying to motivate him. This happened to me.
And he invoked Seawood on that,
and he did, and he said, "This is how Seawood talked to me. Now I'm talking to you."
Yeah,
I love that. That's
talk about
leader.
Legacy, man.
Yeah,
talk about legacy from Woodson. Yeah, that's a great point, Mosh. And were you surprised at all that talk even had to? My perception of professional athletes is that they understand that you play how you practice. To hear Derek Carr giving that kind of direction to a still young player, was that surprising to you at all, that there was a guy that actually wasn't going 100% in practice?
No, it wasn't, because that's what leadership is. That's what peer coaching, that's what, peer tutoring in my business we call it. But that's what has to happen. When you want to build an ensemble, when you want to build a group, you got to have that. But
I mean, just the fact that he actually had to do that to begin with, that Marcel Aitman wasn't given it all.
But I'll bet you that Marcel wasn't the first one he's talked to like that.
Oh, right.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. That's expected of him. That's what the captain does.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it was good, man. It's been a fun ride. I hate that it's over already. What you got, Mosh?
We're just a little fuzzy on our pick here.
Okay, yeah, we just gotta let it ride.
We gotta let it ride. We're talking good stuff about the Raiders, and the NSA is saying, hey, but anyway.
Absolutely. All right, well, good stuff there. So yeah, tell us your thoughts. Let's see if we got any comments in there. Full Metal Mexican says he heard the Packers were complaining about the field conditions. Yeah, and it was funny. I kind of got the sense that they were would be willing to cancel it or call it off, and Gruden was like, "No, man, we're not going to do that." And I appreciated that about him for sure. But anyways, yeah, great stuff with Jason Cabinda and his mom. I thought that was really cool
awesome.
Dynamic. Like, she seemed like she was really fun. So yeah, good stuff there.
What's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes! Fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He's thrown. It is.
our buddy from across the pond,
Sestrian
says the field was the same for both sides. We just adjusted the best stop moaning cheeseheads.
We did adjust the best. That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we got a good field goal kicker. So there you go. All right. So here I mentioned earlier on Raiders Fan Radio that our favorite thing about our show is our community and our listeners, and especially when you guys interact with us. Like so many people are doing in the chat room tonight. Full Metal Mexican, Tony, Coach Davis is in there. Freddie Chavez, Mojo, Tampa Raider, Doug Thomas, Sestrian Raiders, Mosh mentioned, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Chucktown Raider. Everybody's in there. I appreciate y'all joining us. And if you ever want to call the show, you can call us at 909-345-3346. If we play your message 3 times on the air, you become what we refer to as a made man or a made woman. And you can also email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, like many of our folks over in the UK and across the pond do, because it's very expensive to call internationally. So we get a lot of correspondence from our folks overseas. So appreciate them every week. So in terms of our made man and our made woman, every crew needs a captain. We call him the Capo, and we always kick off this segment with our buddy Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider.
Greetings, it's your Capo, Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, coming to you from the great state of Texas. Don Murph, Consigliere Maj, Underboss, Sonny, Lil Murph, Swag Jeff, Sergeant at Arms, Big Raider Trucker Nation. Let's get off into this thing. I'm sitting here watching some replays of the broadcast with our beloved team, and something weird has happened. Little baby Cleveland. Now, his mama named him Furrl, but he wants to go by Furrl. What the
Furrl?
Look, if it looks like an Ferrell, I'm going to pronounce it Furrl, not Furrl. But I digress further. Let's talk about, this Twitter beef, saying it's going awry between our beloved A.B., float like a butterfly, sting like A, period, B, period, and his beef with Ben Roethlisberger reloaded. Now, Roethlisberger, he went on Sunday night with Michelle Tafoya and doing an interview where he talked about he regretted calling out A.B. last year in Pittsburgh, and that led to their breakup and their friendship. Look, A.B.'s right. He tweeted it out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to support this. Shut up already. Ben Roethlisberger, the olive-shaped sausage that's basically, bandwagon your way to a couple of Super Bowls based on the talents around you and not because of the talent you brought to the table, no matter how talented you were coming out of a Miami University. Now, I agree, hashtag never friends, and that needs to go ahead and be a mantra as we move forward. Knock on wood if you're with me. But I want to talk about, our undrafted rookie corner. I'm talking about Keyshawn Nixon. This young man has been making plays from day one.
Good shout out.
It's going to be hard for I guess, Mayock and Chucky to keep this guy off the roster. I know Gunther, he's eyed this kid, but you know what? He's making some hay, and even more, he's making plays, man. I think Chucky was even quoted as saying, well, if you study the film, you'll see what we see. I see what you see, Chucky, and that's with one eye closed, baby. And I just want to see if this guy, gets a fair shot and makes the team. We've got a lot of, cap space, that's been tied up, trying to shore up the secondary. And honestly, this kid is bringing it. I mean, he went to USC, go Cox, whatever. But the thing of the matter is, he's gone up against top talent. He talks about how he played up against Juju Smith-Schuster, and he played up against, the likes of talent like that, being from California. I mean, hey, he brings a lot to the table, and I like our other undrafted rookie, Keelan Doss. I mean, this guy right here, on offense and defense, I mean, they're bringing a lot to the table, and I like what I see. Now, the hit list is back. Jelly Ellis, you're on it. Ooh, Eddie Vanderdoom, the Muscle Hamster, Doug Martin, bye, see ya. Marcel Aitman, you're just the odd man out. So respect goes out to all the Raider made men, and I'll holler at y'all later.
Where's the Roo?
I don't know.
Capo.
He forgot the Roo.
He'll
make up for it. Yeah, he will. He'll Roo twice.
Yeah, Roo twice on your next call. So, Mosh, I got nothing because you can't make that any better. Like
he's dead
on about everything, as always. Appreciate the call. Capo, you are the man for sure. Uncle Mosh, you got any emails for us this week?
I do. I got 2 this week. It says, evening, guys. Hope you're well. Episode 139 is here. And looking forward to it as ever. Knock on wood if you're with me. Hey, another good win last week for this time over Green Bay. It looked really strange on an 80-yard field. Lots of positives to keep people thinking as we head to the roster cut. And great to see Dead-Eyed Daniel Carlson winning things with a pressure kick. Hard Knocks continues to impress. Hey, so...
Yeah.
You know, it was an 80-yard field.
Right.
But the goalposts were at the same spot.
They moved him in, though, didn't they?
No, they didn't move him in.
So what was the distance?
They made the decision on the 80 yards. So his distance was actually 10 yards plus.
10 yards plus.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Hard Knocks continues to impress. And from what we've seen.
That's borderline math. Stop that.
I know.
Because we'll go down a downward spiral.
we would go down a really dark hole. Continues to impress. And from what we've seen of it, the preseason in general, a couple of guys stand out more than others for me. Jonathan Abram is already a star player. His speed and special awareness are very impressive. He's already looking like a worthy custodian of number 24.
Yes.
I also like Hunter Renfrow. I think we've got ourselves a new Wes Welker. I don't look at either of them and see them as rookies. I guess week 1 will be the real test of my theory. Incidentally, if that's AB half fit, I can't wait until he's 100%.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
He's one supreme athlete. I never took much notice of him in Pittsburgh, but now we're seeing him up close. Man, he is a beast, and I agree with that. He is a beast.
Yeah.
The two real stars of Hard Knocks, though, are Coach Gruden and Coach Buckner. Coach Buck's reality check speech to his players was very revealing. The storm is coming. I hope you've built a ship was brilliant. I'm thinking it was said to everyone in the room, but directed at a few specifically. I saw a couple of guys rolling their eyes and thought they won't be making the final 53. Wrong attitude and application. The coaches got your number. Ooh, I did. I guess I missed the eye rolls, but hey, Paul don't.
Yeah.
Eddie Vanderdos was one of them. So see ya. Don't let the door smack you in the ass on the way out.
That's it.
Why would you want to upset Coach Buck anyway? He's a big dude for one thing, but he's a guy that commands respect, and those that respect him will go a long way. Those that don't, he'll look after. Those that don't listen and learn don't deserve to wear the shield. I love it. The balance and depth of the roster has been constructed really well, and who knows, we may still bring someone else in yet. True.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of cuts out there.
Absolutely.
I'm still a little giddy seeing a squad like this and keep thinking I'll wake up and find out that it's all been a dream and Jay Schrader is still quarterback. One more trip for preseason, then on to the Sea Dorks. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's face it. The only good thing about Seattle was Fraser Crane.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Keep up the excellent work, fellas. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, Paul Egerton from Shropshire, Mississippi. Paulie Award winner 2019 Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, and one-time winner of the Raiders Fan Radio Sizzler Award.
Nice job, Paul. Nice job.
So this next one.
Well, hold on. I got to tell you something real quick in the chat before we get to that. So they're talking about the 80-yard field.
Oh, yeah.
In the chat. And Capo with the best line. This is the best line of the night. The Raiders have been going 80 yards at a time since 2002. Yeah. We've only been playing 80 yards at a time for a long time.
Oh, my gosh.
And he
that's
says
hilarious.
those days are over. Yes, we certainly hope they are.
You brought up a little something, and I've been meaning to say this to you, but
okay.
The very first week of Hard Knocks,
yeah,
Abram got a lot of grief.
Yeah, he did.
About from my partner tonight about maybe being a little disrespectful to the quarterback, saying, hey, 22 mil.
Yeah.
I'd be your kid. But what we forget though is that when the quarterback hands these guys the microphone and requests them to sing, who are you? Where'd you go to school? What was your signing bonus?
What was your signing bonus?
So money is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
We said all along it was a goof because it's public knowledge. Everybody knows what you made and make.
And Abram was funny when he got the mic, by the way. He did great. He wasn't good in terms of performance, but he owned it.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was good point, Mosh.
All right, hey. Here's our next email, and this one comes with a visual. I'll get to the visual in a minute.
Okay. All
hey,
right.
Murph, Mosh, Swag Jeff, the Capo, and awesome Raiders fans radio family. I wanted to follow up with my call, and please encourage the Raiders fan radio fans and listeners to buy your NFL gear and the Get Made shirts with the links you have been provided to help the Bolitnikoff Foundation cause. Please, please do it sooner than later. I've done both purchases. Great show. Keep up the good work. P.S. I'm proud of Swag Jeff and his growing Raiders swag collection and enthusiasm for the Raiders. But, Swaggo, you're still an amateur.
Oh.
Status for swag, which is okay. Here are some pictures of part of my Raiders swag.
Okay.
With jerseys and jackets only. Between jerseys and jackets, I have about 49. Keep it up, swag. You're in the big leagues now.
Oh.
Love you guys. LOL.
Kevin the Raider nerd right there. Awesome. And he sent some pictures of his closet there. That's insane, Mosh. That's
crazy.
insane. He is Jeff. Sorry, man. Right now. And that doesn't even show like the way that we got to know Kevin was because he's got a Mandalorian freaking Raiders, like a cosplay. Like he looks full on. For those of you who don't know what a Mandalorian is, it's what Boba Fett is. It's his race of warriors in Star Wars. And Kevin has a. Just because you don't like the wars, Mosh, doesn't mean you got to give me the credit.
Slow. Mandalorian, Boba Fett. What?
Boba Fett.
Boba
Fett is a bounty hunter.
I think I ate some of that in a nice red sauce one time.
You washed it down with a Chianti?
In a nice Chianti.
Anyways, Kevin's got an awesome Mandalorian Star Wars costume. It's fantastic.
Oh. See? Mandalorian. Just got you.
All right, let's get to some of the calls here. We got to go. We got 30 minutes from right now, and the button to turn this show off is going to get hit in 30 minutes. So let's get to these calls. We got to run. So first up, let's listen to Chuck Down Raider.
Murph, Uncle Mosh, Q-Dog, Swag Jeff. Hey, y'all, just giving y'all a shout-out. This is the Chucktown Raider, formerly known as the Unmade Man.
Oh,
nice.
Charleston, South Carolina. And just wanted to holler at you. Last night, I listened because I couldn't get it through my game ticket. I couldn't get it through anything else. I listened to the Raiders-Packer game, and I got to tell you, Mikey was doing a YouTube cast or whatever you want to call it during that game for the first half anyway. And man, it was pretty entertaining listening to Mikey's commentary in one ear and listening to the game get called in the other. It really Mikey was pretty dang entertaining. So I want to send some love and respect to Mikey. And speaking of which, hey Raider Juan, man, I've been hearing your calls, and I'm glad that we're still hearing from you, and you just keep on trucking, brother. And anyways, that's all I got. This is the Chucktown Raider, and I am out.
Awesome stuff, Chucktown Raider. Appreciate the shout out to Raider Juan. And yeah, we didn't hear from Juan this week, but he's always listening. And so appreciate the thoughts. And so Raider Juan, there you go, man. And Raider Nation's got your back, brother. And we're praying for you. So keep fighting, man. Keep coming back. All right, Mosh, I love it when we get new callers to the show. And we have one this week. He actually called us twice. And you know, normally I don't play the calls that calls back to back, but we got two this week, and I'm just going to do them because they're both great. So this first time caller, we're going to hear from our new buddy, Coach Davis.
What's up, Murph? What's up, Uncle Mosh? What's up, Swag Jeff, Raider Nation? This is Coach Davis. I'm just calling. This is the first time I'm calling y'all, but I've listened for a long time. Just a little background. I was in the penitentiary for 13 years, and that's the way I did things, man. I kicked back, watched people in the pod for about 6 months before I even talked to them. After listening to y'all for a while, I realized one thing. Y'all my people, man.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I just wanted to touch on a couple of things real quick, you know. Number one, they're always going to hate on us. They are always going to hate on us, man. They always hating on AB about giving up on his team and all that last year. You know, I made my first Raider game last year. We went to see the Steelers, and we beat them. But one thing people do not pick up on is Big Ben quit on his team during that game.
Yep.
Arden Key laid a hit on him, and he went out injured. But he decided to stay out fully in uniform with his helmet, but let the Raiders beat up on his team and then wants to come back in the last two drives. If he was healthy enough to come back them last two drives, then he should have been healthy enough to play that whole game. He's the one that gave up on that season. He's the one that ruined their playoff chances. You know what I'm saying? Not AB. Big Ben did that first. AB's going to be ready week 1. He's going to kill it. Our Raiders, this is going to be special this year. Top to bottom. We're a whole lot better than we ever been. I'm talking about not ever, but in a long time. We're better than that team from 2016. You watch.
Nice.
It was 12-4 that year. At least 13-3, 14-2. I got high expectations too, Murph. All of them. No speculation. Love y'all, man. I'm out.
Awesome, man. Great job, Coach Davis. Appreciate the call. And yeah, man, I got high expectations too, man. I'm real I'm trying to temper my expectations. I'm trying not to set myself up for failure here, but you know, we're probably going to go 15-1.
Who we losing to? You're not a real fan.
I know. Don't question my fandom, Uncle Mosh. I'm sorry. Whoops.
Flashback.
That was almost an inside joke. All right, next up, Coach Davis called us back.
What's up, Murph? What's up, Uncle Mosh? What's up, Swag Jeff, Raider Nation? This is Coach Davis. You know, last night I ordered a 7-day free trial of the Game Pass, NFL Game Pass, to watch that game last night, man. And, you know, I was really disappointed, man. You know, with all the AB's antics and everything, you know, he was late for the freaking plane trip. He was on the sideline sulking and getting into arguments with Derek Carr, and John Gruden refused to sign anything for fans, man. Like, man, did y'all see that? I ain't see that shit either, man. What I saw is AB over there all happy with his teammates. You know, I want to say the most exciting part of that game last night was you got all of these starters over there. It's a preseason game. It doesn't really matter. But, man, them dudes was so excited for them players out there and getting that win. You know, it just feels different this year, man. It just feels a lot different. People actually care, man. They want to win. You can just tell, man. It's exciting. From top to bottom, I mean, like, who do you cut? Like, seriously, who's going to make this 53-man roster? Who do you cut? You know, our linebacking core is solid for the first time in, I can't freaking remember. You know, our secondary, our cornerbacks, like, who do you cut there? You know? It's looking great, man. Nixon looked great last night. Man, it's just awesome, man. The wide receivers, like, seriously, who in the hell do you leave out, man? I'm really excited about this year. I really am. And it's going to be great. But, you know, Raider Nation, don't worry about it. You know, we're going to go out there, and no matter if we run off 10 wins in a row, they're still going to run their mouth. But I guarantee you, the Raider Nation, we know what it is. We know what we got. We know what we're going to do. This franchise is going somewhere, and it's really exciting for not just now, but the future. You can just feel it. Like a dynasty is on the rise. It's coming, man. So, Raider Nation, buckle your safety belts, because it's going to be a hell of a ride, man. I'm out. Love y'all.
Nice job, Coach David. That's pretty strong back-to-back for first-time caller ever, huh?
Holy mackerel. Good job.
Good job, man. That was funny. All right, yep, go, get moving here. So let's get he's in the chat, too, so thank you, man. We appreciate you, Coach Davis. All right, let's go to someone we hadn't heard from in a while, Mosh. And this is surprising because, you know, he's kind of kin.
Yeah, my son-in-law.
Yeah.
Murph, Bosch, hey, what's going on, guys? This is caller Greg from Tennessee. It's been a while since I called in. Hey, I got a question and then maybe a suggestion / proposal. So my question is, you know, I had my fantasy football draft last night. Feel pretty good about it. I had to kind of punt at tight end, and I ended up getting a guy in the last pick of the last round, Darren Waller, for the Raiders. Tell me, what do you know about this guy? I've been hearing some great things out of camp about him. He's I just hear a lot of good things. Is he going to be on every down or just passing downs? That's kind of my question. And then, by the way, Murph, you're the one who got me into fantasy football a few years ago. You asked me to join your league, and I loved it. So my proposal or my suggestion is, what if we started a Raider Fan Radio fantasy football league? I could commission it for you, and we could, I don't know, call in every Tuesday, talk about the the Biletnikoff Award, the receiver who got the most yards, the winner, the loser, who's leading the league, and all that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Talk to me on the side. I'll see you later. Over.
All right, good stuff there, G. Appreciate you calling in, Raiders Fan Radio. So a couple things there. So here's what you need to know about Darren Waller. He's bigger than all the other tight ends. He's faster than all the tight ends. He's got better hands than all the tight ends. He's going to be a red zone target, and he's going to be an absolute fantasy football sleeper pick. So the idea that you picked him up at the end of your draft, absolutely, you're going to crush it. So in terms of the Raiders Fan Radio Fantasy Football League, Mosh, we sent out a heads up to our handful of made men that are on a group text that we have throughout the course of the week. But Greg asked me to share out the contact information on tonight's show. If you want to join Greg's league, send an email to gregpeters62 at Gmail. It's GREG Peters, Peters 62 at gmail.com. Send him an email. Tell him you want to be part of the league. He's already got the league set up. I'm not sure how many people have joined it or not, but this is kind of one of those things too that I was talking about earlier. Like, this is a great idea. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. So hit up Greg, join that league. We won't be playing in it. Our creative outlets and things are occupied by the show, but y'all have fun with it and let us know how you do and let us know that you're having fun with it. And we'll definitely, we'll definitely share some fun stories about that here on the air. So,
I might add that Greg from Tennessee is a multiple caller.
Yeah,
he is. He is a made man that we have bypassed, giving him his made man status. This is his 45th call, and we've bypassed him a ton. So
he really deserves to be named a made man, then, doesn't he?
You know what? We're against the clock.
Yeah, we'll get him next week.
Okay, man.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Full Metal Mexican. Just want to give respect to Murph, Uncle Mosh, Sonny, Little Murph, Swaggy J, the Capo, Sergeant at Arms, Emiliano, the Raider Trucker, all the made men and women. And, wait a minute. Wait, that was the wrong soundbite. Yeah, I was just checking social media again, and after the blowout at the Cardinals game last week. Yeah, there's still people crying. I'm just scrolling down and hear lots of people crying and complaining. It's like, gee whiz. And it's tiring on the body, but I've been doing this overnight shift for a while. But just wanted to say love the show. And who the hell plays football in Canada? I understand we got the Canadian Football League, but why the hell are we playing preseason football in Canada? I just hope we blow away the Packers. Hate them. Anyways, just want to say keep up the great work. Love supporting the show, and Raiders.
All right, good stuff, Lino. Appreciate you calling the show and repping RFR and yeah, man, that was nice that we beat the Packers, went 3-0. Didn't blow them out, but hey, we'll take the last second field goal.
Absolutely.
Preseason, just real fast, is it is what it is. But it's nice that we're winning. It's better than losing, right? We know it's just player evaluations, but better to win them than lose them. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, we're gonna hear from One Nation Jeff.
Hey, Raiders Fan Radio. This is One Nation Jeff calling in with the worst impersonation of Coach Chucky you've ever heard. First off, I want to address the nation. For you new guys, Swaggy Jeff, are you listening? The Raiders are a global phenomenon, entity, if you will. They are the first and only nation in sports. Q-Dog, can you feel me? The only one more omnipresent in the universe is Jesus. Murph, can I get an amen?
Amen, brother.
Now I'm tired. I'm tired of all the talk of distractions. Antonio Brown, Vontez Burfict, Richie Incognito, Hard Knocks. You know who's a distraction? We are. The national media is like a disgruntled ex-girlfriend. They can't get the taste of us out their mouth. I half expect them to post an Instagram video boiling our pet rabbit. Mosh, you know what I'm talking about?
A scariest movie
this
ever.
This team is ready to punch the rest of the league in the mouth and go get trophy number 4. Knock on wood if you're with me. Go Raiders.
Awesome. Good stuff there from One Nation Jeff, member of the Jeff Nation. So listen, Mosh, now we've got we've gone just these last 2 calls. We've got him doing an impression. We've got sound effects from Lino. People are now singing on our show. Y'all got to step it up, man. We're gonna, hey, the field is going to start to narrow because you guys have stepped up with your calls. And not only are you doing the sound effects and all that fun creative stuff, but you're also just very, very funny as a whole. So keep up the great work, man. Appreciate all these awesome calls. Next up, our buddy Running Bear in Tulare.
Hello, this is Running Bear from Tulare, California. Hi, it's Mosh and Murph and Swag Jeff and all the made men and women out there and everybody else listening. I really think we're going to have a real hard time this year on our cuts. I think we're going to cut a couple we don't want to lose, and then we're going to probably add a couple people from other teams. So we're going to have a very difficult time with this 3-man roster this year. The good news is that it looks like Good's going to be able to play, so that's going to help out. As far as our guard situation goes, I'm hoping that works out well. I think it's still going to be an issue for the first couple of games, but I think it's going to iron itself out. Really looking forward to the season. I think we have a really good chance of vastly improving from what we were last year. Not going to predict our win or loss total, but I will say that we will be way more competitive this year at every game. We have the chance to be really good, and we also have the chance not to be very good. Depends on how everyone gels and how basically we protect Carr. That's really what it comes down to. And I think we're going to have a good shot this year. And go Raiders!
All right. Good job, Running Bear. I'm with you, man. And I think that as much as we talk about expectations and win totals and all that, I'm with it. We're just going to be better. And if we're not, like Chuck said, we had Chuck on an RFR conversation this last week or so. Check it out. It's on the network if you haven't heard it. Chuck's awesome. And you know what he said? If we're not better this year, either Derek Carr sucks or John Gruden can't coach.
Yep.
And that's it. Like one of those 2 or 3 things are going to all be true. And so hopefully we're just a lot better. All right. Next up is our buddy in enemy territory behind the lines in Denver, Hardcore Raider.
Murph, Uncle Mosh, Q the Cap Dog, of course, Schwago Jeff, this Hardcore Raider coming at you. All right. So, episode 139, we're going to go a little dark and gloomy, unfortunately, but, today is, Saturday, the 24th of August, and if we rewind time back 139 weeks, we get to December 24th of 2016, which was the game that we played the Colts and Derek Carr got hurt. So, episode 139, 139 weeks ago, was when our quarterback got hurt, and we were all pretty optimistic, pretty happy that year until, Carr got hurt and went down. So, let's keep positivity so Carr can have a successful year. We don't have to worry about that this year. And then, I still think Swag Jeff should bring his A game, give him a 3 to 5 minute segment so he can
he gets enough time on the air.
We talk about he can come up with. And then, something I was thinking about was the last year in Oakland. I just think it'd be really cool if, like, the podcast that have a good fan base like you guys could do almost like a tribute to Oakland. Last year in Oakland, maybe it's sound bites from, Super Bowl years and players with, like, themes behind the sound bites. I'm kind of coming up with a list, so probably going to email that to you and see if you'd maybe entertain it. I think there'd be some good content, to keep us fans, pumped up, riled up throughout the season. Each week, maybe a different theme, just looking back in time, just a quick segment. So, let me know what you guys think of that. I think that'd be really cool to just do, like, last year in Oakland, just a tribute to our past history and just honor the Raiders. I know each segment could go very long, but, maybe just something where it's like a 5 to 10 minute, soundbite,
we can't do anything.
Soundbites here and there.
No,
5, 10 minute
we can do it as our
just,
pre-Super Bowl show.
Talking about,
Oh.
Whatever the theme might be behind that. So I'm kind of coming up with a list. I'll send it to you guys, but I'm curious what you guys think. I think it could be something pretty darn cool. All right, so appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Keep up the hard work, and excited for game day. It's almost time to face the Donkeys. So 2019 year of redemption. Raiders will rise. There's only one nation, Raider Nation. Let's go.
Come on, preach.
Hardcore Raider out.
All right, appreciate the call, Hardcore Raider. Yeah, man, it's a great idea. It could probably be a great idea for a show for us. Maybe like a single run through of some stuff, maybe in the off season, or like Mosh said, pre-Super Bowl. But again, hey, you do it, make it. And I'm not
put it together, send it in.
Yeah, we'll feature it. I mean, if it's good, we'll feature it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, we get a lot of ideas, and that's a fun one. I think Raider Homer's doing something similar.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I would probably check out what else is out there first before you put something together. But yeah, good stuff there from Hardcore Raider. All right, we've got to get on the run here. Sugar Shane's up next.
Hey, what's going on, Murph? What's going on, Mosh? Swag Jeff. Sugar Shane calling from Tejas once again. Beautiful state of Texas to you English folks out there. Anyways, I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was funny. But is it just me, or is Luke Wilson one hair follicle away from becoming Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Ted Theodore Logan?
That guy, he reminds me of either Keanu Reeves in that movie or Bogey from Point Break. Like, the dude's he's got that surfer vibe down to a T. He's got that surfer, or he's got that metalhead vibe down to a T.
Dig it.
Because in Hard Knocks this past week, I mean, the guy was talking about Ozzy, it was just seriously funny. But
he's my favorite Canadian.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was that stinker of a field in good old Winnipeg, Canada. Good God. That was that field was bad. And I've never seen an NFL game where there's no kickoff. I don't know how to describe that. That's just sensational, to be honest. That's at a loss for words right there. So I honestly thought the game was going to be canceled. So this is my second time calling in. And hopefully third time's a charm, and I'll go ahead and get made. Okay, so anyways.
That's a great thought.
Yeah, if I remember.
Much love, guys. So keep doing your thing. Keep supporting the Raiders. I love you guys. Much love.
Appreciate it, Sugar Shane. Great job on the call. Hey, anytime somebody references Bill and Ted, you got me. I wear a Wild Stallion shirt.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what? You remember that?
In the casino.
How many freaking comments did I get on my Wild Stallion shirt?
I know, right? And it was all the hot girls, too.
I know. Hey, yeah. Bill S. Preston Esquire, Ted Theodore Logan, man. Some strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Mosh. All right, next up, we're going to hear from our buddy, Rev Raider.
What's going on, Murph and Uncle Mosh? This is Rev Raider calling from Jersey. Just want to give my thoughts on the past week in football with the Raiders. I was definitely digging what I saw. A lot of good positive things happening. I had a little snafu over here in Jersey, of course, being that the game was played in Winnipeg. But even when the game is played in Oakland, there's always a daggone issue with us, getting a little piece of the game. So the autumn wind is a pirate. So I was getting my pillage on with the fire stick to watch the game. So it is what it is. But definitely like what I saw in the game, how it seemed like they're starting to come together in a fashion that I saw when they were in the first stint with Gruden. And so basically what that means is like the year before Gruden was there, I noticed we were losing a lot of close games, but in this preseason game, they showed that they could come back in the close game and finish in the fourth quarter, and that's what I like to see. A lot of people who are playing for their careers. Keelan Doss, that dude's a beast, man. I'm loving him. He's doing his thing. Like, he deserves a spot on this team. I was kind of shocked with Doug Martin getting released, but DeAndre Washington he has been balling out, so he's doing what he's supposed to do, Somebody that like I really think doesn't get enough credit. You hear a lot about Russ recently, but one of my favorite D linemen is P.J. Hall, man. Like, that dude got some brute strength. And I was just looking at it in the second half. It looked like it was a mismatch. I'm like, this dude playing with starters all season last year, and he manhandled some people last year, and now they got him with these third stringers and people trying to make the team. He about to air some people out, but he's a slept on person too. Hard Knocks Coach Buck, he was talking about like he loves them all, but some of their gameplay sucks. And speaking of gameplay sucking, this dude Nick Loose Change Nelson, boy, the last couple of weeks, man, you either eating or you're on the menu, and your boy was looking real a la carte out there. But it was a great game. Like to see him come back and stuff. I'm happy to see that this whole Antonio Brown thing is starting to calm down. I heard some comments on Good Morning Football this morning. They were talking about making sure that you do that you don't worry about him doing what he's doing.
Google Voice has claimed.
Google Voice is undefeated, and a lot of times we don't play the follow-up, but I like Rev Raider, man. He's on my Mount Rushmore of callers, so he gets a second shot out of here.
So I gotta say, Google Voice got me. Man, definitely is undefeated, but if I see Google Voice in the street, there's gonna be some furniture moving and a misunderstanding. But it is what it is. I had a lot to get off my chest, but with the whole Antonio Brown thing, they say, don't worry about all the off-the-field antics. Just wait till the regular season, and it's going to pop off. You'll be happy with what he does on the field, And also, I just wanted to give a comment on Mike Mayock's comments on that, too, when he said you either in or out. Really wasn't a threat to me. He just kind of reminded me of my childhood when, my parents would tell me, you either in or out the house. You ain't going to be walking in and out. Man. You either here or you're not. So it was just a simple setting the parameters, and it is what it is. Move along, But that's all I got, So always love this show as always. And so the proverbial hit the damn button. Knock on wood if you feel me, fellas. Peace.
Awesome job, Rev Raider. That's the exact analogy I made on Mondays with Mikey Murph. I said it's just like when you're talking to your kid. It's not a problem. You're not mad. You're just very definitive. And look, it's either this or it's that. It's an ultimatum. So very, very good job there, Rev Raider. One of the best, man. Appreciate your calls as always. All right, Mosh, we got one more before we get out of here, and we're gonna end on a high note, man. This is one of those guys that's tough to beat. And
I got his shirt. I'm sporting his shirt
wearing
tonight.
Absolutely. Let me flash over to your camera right there. He's got his own logo. This guy. He's such just a great caller and a great part and asset to our show.
Yeah,
we
man.
call him the Sergeant at Arms, and he is the Big Raider Trucker.
What's going on? The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Big Raider Trucker checking in once again. Well. Doesn't Hard Knocks have a little less excitement on it when the national media isn't filling our ears with a bunch of bullshit?
I know.
With the 18 story? Man, I'm so glad this is all done. I'm just sitting here laughing and loving every moment of it. Hey, Murph, I'm sure you heard about Andrew Luck. I want to get your take on how important these number one draft picks are that we got stuffed away. And I just want to say, dear goodness, John Gruden is a mastermind. He potentially set us up next year. He's got his top pickings with whoever he wants with these draft picks because of the Colts situation if they were to be in that desperate need of a quarterback. I just like how he set us up. It's absolutely beautiful and I absolutely love it. All right, also, I loved Coach Buckner's speech to the linemen, and I just want to say, where were you guys September 9th when the Raiders started their payback tour, baby? Let's go! Is your ship ready, NFL? Are you guys ready for the storm that's coming?
Come
the Raiders
on.
are back, baby! Woo! Let's go!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah, Big Raider Trucker. Man, that was awesome. His calls are always great, but he's got me ready to run through a wall, man. That payback tour, baby, it starts. And you want to ask about those number one picks? Heck yeah, those things are important, including the guy that we drafted 4th overall this year, Mosh.
Who was that? His name?
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furrl. F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furrl. F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furrl.
Knock on wood if you hear Furrl.
All right, Uncle Mosh, every week we award the Sizzler Award to our best caller of the week or emailer of the week. Who you got this week?
Oh, my gosh. Talk about a week. What a week. Chucktown, a little update. Shout out to Juan, Coach Davis. Coach Davis's first and second calls were amazing.
Yes.
He calls out Pittsburgh. Props to the Raiders. He was so funny. And he threw in it. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
Don't worry about it. Greg in Tennessee, great take on RFR Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
Of course, somebody in the chat said, "Nah, we'd all be fighting over who gets the Raiders." Lino, I love the Full Metal Mexican with his baby crying soundbite. Just killed me.
Yeah, that was good.
And then One Nation Jeff, he goes, I'm gonna do an impression of Chucky. I thought he said I'm gonna undress Chucky. It was so funny. Running Bear, looking forward to the O-line. Yeah, man, and what a
we're
competitive
big.
season. And then Hardcore Raider, he really wants Swaggo's job.
Yeah, he
I
does.
love it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only
or wants him to just be a bit more prominent. Maybe Jeff and Hardcore Raiders should start a show together.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
well he's got to quit sending in his resumes with his emails, and Sugar Shane with his Luke Wilson as Keanu
That was
Reeves.
good, yeah.
Loved it. And then Rev Raider, I loved it. He says you're either eating or you're on the menu, and baby, you're looking a la carte. But Big Raider Trucker, tonight's
man.
Sizzler
Nice.
Award winner, and it was close, man. Coach Davis, you were right there, man. You had it. You had it till. Big Raider Trucker had us standing up screaming about the coming up Redemption Tour.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
All right, Raider Nation, appreciate you joining us tonight here in Murph's Fan Cave for episode number 139 of Raiders Fan Radio. We will be back here in the Fan Cave next week for episode number 140 of Raiders Fan Radio. Or do you want to hit the Rogues Gallery or you want to just hit the outro music, Mike?
I was going to hit Rogues Gallery, but I'll just say it. Hey, the Raiders fans are Rogues Gallery. Here
There
we
you go. So appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. Appreciate Coach Davis, the Big Easy, Crossbones, Running Bear, Mojo Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Full Metal Mexican, Freddie Chavez. Just scrolling up, I can't see everybody, but Crossbones, I see in there. Sugar Shane, been a great night tonight in the chat room. You guys rule. You guys are funnier than we are, and you know more about football than we do, and we appreciate you. Everybody go to mybookie.com. That's mybookie.com. Enter in the promo code CAVE, C-A-V-E, and then help us out, man. Everything you do to support this show all goes to the Blitnikoff Foundation. So go to mybookie.com. Go buy a jersey at NFLshop.com or anything there through our link, RaidersFanRadio.com/gear. Go to RaidersFanRadio.com/t-shirts and buy a t-shirt. Support the Blitnikoff Foundation. And I got to go pick up my kid.
Thanks for listening tonight, everybody. For Murph, this is your old Uncle Mosh, and you have been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Just like it says on my shirt, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody. God bless.
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furrl.